The age of dinosaurs lasted for over 200 million years, during which countless species of these giant reptiles emerged and disappeared, hundreds, perhaps even thousands. Each species had its unique characteristics. Since nothing in nature happens without reason, these traits undoubtedly serve some practical purpose. However, the appearance of certain dinosaurs can bring a smile to our faces and sometimes even genuine surprise. We've already discussed dinosaurs with unusual looks, but there were so many that a single video couldn't encompass all the strange and amusing reptiles of that era. Of course, compared to most modern animals, all dinosaurs appear quite bizarre and unusual. Yet, among them, some stand out sharply from their relatives. So, here's a selection of the most peculiar and distinctive dinosaurs. Dinosaurus was a tiny dinosaur that lived in what is now China during the late Cretaceous period and belonged to the family of theropods known as Oviraptorosaurs. It is distinguished by its unusual head shape, a bony growth that resembles a little cap. Scientists have yet to reach a consensus on what function this headgear served. Most members of its family have their heads covered by a rounded cap, but it seems that Dinosaurus was not one to follow fashion, sporting a unique split cap instead. Additionally, it was extremely small, an adult would barely reach the knee of a human. Yutyrannus serves as a striking example of the relationship between dinosaurs and birds. Its entire body was covered in small feathers, and considering this dinosaur walked on two legs, it could resemble a chicken, if not for one crucial detail. This feathered reptile weighed around 2 tons and was a dangerous predator. Such a combination of a lethal creature and an appearance that might seem harmless to modern humans makes Yutyrannus quite an unusual representative of the dinosaur era. Suzosaurus, or Suzosaurus, was one of the strangest members of the theropod family. Like Yutyrannus, this dinosaur was a relative of Tyrannosaurus rex. However, when comparing its appearance to that of T. rex, few would find similarities. This Cretaceous creature resembles a giant rat with the neck and head of a griffin. While its appearance may seem comical, Suzosaurus behaved like a typical member of its family, and at a height of 7 meters with enormous claws on its front limbs, it could certainly instill fear in smaller animals. It's unlikely that any of them laughed at its unusual looks. Epidendrosaurus. Only one skeleton of this small dinosaur has been found, discovered in China nearly 20 years ago. Scientists believe that Epidendrosaurus may have been one of the first species to adapt to life in trees. It's possible that this lizard was a precursor to all birds. The specimen discovered measures about 5 centimeters in height, and since no other finds of this species have been made yet, researchers cannot definitively determine whether it is an adult or a juvenile. The main distinguishing feature of Epidendrosaurus is the structure of its fingers and claws, particularly the elongated third finger. These are far from resembling bird wings and instead look more like pincers. It's likely that, through the process of evolution, this dinosaur developed a useful tool. Its long, slender fingers allowed it to easily extract insect larvae from crevices and tree bark. Uranosaurus seems to have attempted to combine a multitude of disproportionate elements in its appearance. Standing 7 meters tall with a robust body, it had an unusually small and elongated head that ended in a true beak, with a membrane stretched between its jaws. Additionally, a high and vibrant crest ran along its back. Its hind legs were significantly bulkier and longer than its front legs, which likely explains why it moved not on the soles of its front limbs but on its fingertips. This remarkable dinosaur lived in what is now Africa during the early Cretaceous period. Archosaurs apparently thrived during the early Cretaceous period, a time rich in evolutionary experimentation with dinosaur appearances. The bones of Archosaurs, like many other already described species, have been found in China. At first glance, it appears to be a complete replica of the well-known Stegosaurus, but for some reason, this dinosaur opted out of the luxurious back plates. When looking at an Archosaur, it seems as if the plates on its back have been sheared off. If scientists suggest that the plates of Stegosaurus served for thermoregulation, perhaps the climate in the habitats of Archosaurs allowed them to do without them, leading them to find other means of cooling. Psittacosaurus, which translates to parrot lizard, fully lives up to its name. It is only about twice the size of modern parrots. The name comes from its beak and the spikes on its head, as well as a tuft of bright feathers at the base of its tail. Just 10 years ago, scientists believed that these feathers were significantly longer, much like the dinosaur's front limbs. This unique dinosaur lived during the Cretaceous period on the Asian continent, and there is even a distinct Siberian subspecies of Psittacosaurus. Kinlingosaurus makes a return in our overview as a representative of what is now modern-day China, as suggested by its name. Kinlingosaurus belongs to the hadrosaur family, and like all members of this group, it had a bony crest on its head. Until recently, it was believed that this crest resembled a unicorn's horn, but current research suggests that the long, slender bone was actually part of a larger crest. Microraptor has long demonstrated that many dinosaurs had feathers and that their forelimbs resembled wings. For instance, velociraptors looked quite different from how they were portrayed in Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. If real velociraptors had been hunting the characters on screen, it wouldn't have appeared nearly as menacing. Today, the presence of mysterious wings on raptors is no longer surprising, but one standout among them is Microraptor. It developed feathers not only on its front limbs but also on its back legs. While it likely couldn't fly in the full sense, it was probably capable of gliding from tree to tree. However, it's unclear how useful those additional wings were in that regard. Cryolophosaurus is another relative of Tyrannosaurus that has made its way into our overview due to its size and teeth. In terms of dimensions, Cryolophosaurus was nearly comparable to its famous descendant from the Cretaceous period. It was likely one of the top predators at the beginning of the Jurassic period. However, it probably wouldn't have been chosen as the most dangerous predator in a well-known film, mainly due to its striking crest on its snout. Scientists still debate the purpose of this accessory, but one thing is certain. Whatever function it served, that crest gives the formidable predator a somewhat comical appearance. Notohing is likely one of the most unusual representatives of the theropod family. Unlike most of its relatives, it was a herbivorous rather than a carnivorous dinosaur. Walking on two legs didn't add to its speed, as its pelvic structure was similar to that of modern sloths. Therefore, researchers speculate that its lifestyle might have resembled that of these contemporary animals. Imagine a 5-meter giant covered in fluffy feathers, leisurely moving through the forests of the late Cretaceous and slowly munching on leaves from the tops of trees. Like sloths, it also had long, sharp claws on its front limbs, which helped it not only defend against predators but also reach the upper branches of trees. Thank you for watching this video to the end. We also remind you that you can learn more about the appearance, behavior, and evolution of dinosaurs in other videos available on our channel.